discipline needs its own video, because when you break down the general conditioning around the word, you'll actually realize that discipline is the highest form of self-love. Because who else is going to hold you to the high standard that you deserve in life? Who else is going to recognize this higher standard of what you deserve in life? The only person that can see first and then lead yourself there is you. And so once you are able to embody discipline as this practice of self-love, the game truly changes, because no one but you can keep the vision and the promise for a better tomorrow. And a lot of people like to rag on the idea of discipline or reaching your potential, who say, well, what's wrong with me now? Nothing's wrong with you right now. You're absolutely perfect right now. But what most people don't recognize is this game we call life, being alive, the purpose that we have come into this body, onto this earth, is all growth focused. It's all evolutionary. So yeah, we could choose to be stagnant. And if that's how you want to live your life experience, then that's perfect onto itself. But just recognize that it is absolutely healthy to reach for and embody your greatest potential, because that is why we have come to earth. It's for this growth, it's for this evolution. Everything in life is a cycle of growth. If it's not growing, if it's not evolving and moving, it is dead. So being a creator god onto yourself, you are 100% able to live your life in the state of staying exactly where you are if you are happy with it. But I know that if you are here with me right now, and that if you have resonated with my work in the fitness industry, then I know that you're meant for more. And so that's what we're going to dive into. We're going to dive into discipline as a form of the greatest self-love you can ever embody, so that you realize that potential inside of you, so that you step up to get more and become more and experience more growth out of your life. You know what else? From my experience in watching my clients and how their lives have changed after, I can truly say that I believe there is no cap on how good this can get. And if you think differently, just ask the universe to show you. Because every time I've asked the universe to show me, well, damn. There is no cap on how good it can get once you center your attention, once you hone in on your discipline. People think that it's sacrificial in life, but really it just ends up leading you to more magical places and destinations, and to meeting incredible people, having incredible relationships, and just thriving in your life the way you were meant to. So let's dive in, shall we? Discipline. I would say one of the most wildly misunderstood concepts, gifts, strengths, powers that you could have in life. We live in a world of instant gratification where you can literally press a button on your phone and pretty much have anything you want in a very short period of time. We don't really have to work as hard to get things anymore. We could have food delivered to our doorstep. We can have a date by tonight if we wanted. We can have whatever we want, nearly everything, but not quite. It's a world where we are becoming more and more restless to wait for things, and we just want it done yesterday. And that's cool. It serves us in a lot of ways when it comes to business, when it comes to the projects that we're working on, the connections that we can make. There's a lot of good out of this, but I think it's really important to be mindful of where this is weakening human beings as well. And so, as we live in this world of instant gratification, I believe that we really need to seek out certain activities to help sharpen our will, and of course, to allow us to practice discipline. Now, the health and fitness journey, for the most part, is something you cannot speed up the process for. And I stand by the fact that this is one of the last things left on Earth, that you can't skip ahead in the journey. And that's good, because the human being needs to be challenged. We need to be challenged so that our willpower does not atrophy. Just like a muscle will get bigger. That's hypertrophy. Atrophy is when it gets smaller. So we need things in life that are going to allow us to step up and come to the challenge, or else what happens? We become weaker human beings overall. And this can show up in every aspect in every area of life if you really think about this on a holistic level. Like, let's even talk about your relationships, right? If there is not an aspect of your will or your discipline that is developed, then it's just going to be easy to say, well, screw it. I'm off. I'm out. This relationship is hard to work at and it's not worth my time. Why? Because someone who does not practice discipline in their life is uncomfortable in the struggle. They're uncomfortable in the process because they're just used to having things like that. And that's a dangerous game to play. Again, we really have to be mindful of how this serves us and how this is really impacting us as human beings. So when it comes to discipline, why do I say it's the highest form of self-love? Discipline is the ability to hold single-pointed attention in a world that is designed to take our attention away and pull us in so many different directions. It's absolutely designed for that, because the challenge is to stay focused, to bring ourselves back, to stay centered, to be grounded within ourselves with enough will and mind power to say, I want this out of life, and nothing is going to stop me. And the universe rewards you for this, which we'll get into. But discipline is the strongest form of self-love because you are holding your greater needs, your greater potential above all. You're not being swayed by the low-hanging fruit. You are shooting for the stars. And if you've incarnated into this body, onto this earth, why wouldn't you want to shoot for the absolute stars of what is possible for you? See, the health and fitness journey is wildly fascinating to me because it provides the foundation and the framework for you to thrive in all areas of your life. Of course, a healthy mind, a healthy body, a healthy spirit. This is the foundation for our vibrational expression. So if we're operating from a lower vibrational expression, we're not going to be able to attract the higher vibrational expressions. You're going to attract what you are. And that's why I say, if you're cool with that, then cool, live it, girl. Like, all the power to you. But I know you're not, because you're here and we vibe. So like, I know you know that you're meant for more. So in order to get the absolute best out of life, you need to really work on your vibrational foundation. And the health and fitness journey is going to be your first ticket to get there, because a healthy body is going to allow you to thrive. Your body systems working in an optimal level is going to allow you to have a really positive mindset. If you're operating from a level of stress, well, who's attracting anything good when they're stressed out? Or who has a creative mind when they're stressed? Stress and creativity cannot exist together. Like, if you're stressed, you're not creative. And in order to be creative, you cannot be stressed. So health and fitness journey as your absolute foundation. Now, exercising your body. What does exercise do? It releases endorphins. And as you release endorphins, where does this come from? The pituitary gland, which creates our hormones. And it is actually the seat and the center of the third eye. So in a spiritual, metaphysical connection, as you are exercising your body, as you are releasing endorphins, you are also connecting to the greater potential of what is available for you on a physical level, on a mental level, on an emotional level. And if you really start connecting with this motion on a very spiritual level, fitness is one of the most spiritual experiences you can have. A transformation in health and fitness, physical and inner transformation, is the most spiritual experience you could ever have. And what does all of this take? It takes discipline. And what is discipline now that we're talking about it? Well, we're reframing it. Now you understand it's self-love. Well, of course it is. Because if you see this higher expression of the self operating from a place of health, operating from a place of fitness, and you are doing this daily, weekly practice of exercising your body, exercising your minds, exercising your willpower to choose the right foods, you are putting yourself on a very high vibrational path. And in this high vibrational state, you will start to get insights about your entire life that I would argue were not available for you before because you were not operating on this state. So do you see how if you truly embody self-love, to put this journey above everything else, pretty much, to show up for yourself before you show up for another, recognizing that that's not a selfish act, because in order to be your best for the people around you, the people that you love, your family and your friends, your relationships, then you need to show up for you first. So if you're able to do that, if you're able to recognize the state of self-love and stop at nothing to put yourself first, do you even understand or have an idea of how your game can change? And this brings me back to what I was saying. There is truly no cap on what is available for you. You are the cap. It's what you say for yourself. And if you continue to get in the habit of asking the universe, show me how good it can get, show me how good it can get, girl, it gets good. It gets good. Prepare your foundation, prepare your vibration, prepare your mindset, your physical body, your emotional realms, your spiritual connection. Prepare it with your discipline of self-love and putting yourself first in life. It gets real good. It gets real good. Little side note, I am in the beautiful Colombia, Medellin, and I would have never thought that I would find myself here. If you want, at the end of the video, I'm going to take you on a tour of this crib because it's just off the chains. And I asked the universe literally 3 days ago. I'm like, I don't know what needs to happen, but I need to film this video. There's construction guys outside in the place that I filmed the first couple videos in, and they're just relentless. They are like just sawing through metal, and I'm just a girl trying to make it with her business to get this service out to the world. And damn, universe, my vibration is high, and I'm going to put in an order to manifest these guys to just stop. And what's crazy is I didn't manifest them stopping. This is like a classic manifestation technique, which is definitely a part of the Find Your Fire method, but down the line. So step by step, we'll get there. But it's classic. You put in your manifestation, please, universe, just make these construction guys stop sawing metal. God sakes, and it wasn't that I got. It was literally that night. My best friend is like, yo, we're moving somewhere. I'm like, what? And he's like, we're moving somewhere. I got the craziest place. Just wait. And I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean? Like, I didn't even know one could get this good. And I swear, we'll get back to the whole discipline thing. We'll get back to the video. But if you have time after, I'll show you a little tour of the place. But it's a classic example. My vibration is high. I am taking care of myself. I am going to the gym, and at the gym, I am practicing intentional training, which is something that we're going to get into as well. And I am calling in what I need. I am calling in what I want. And when I asked for these construction guys to just give me some peace and quiet for maybe 1 hour a day so I can get these videos done, I didn't know it can get as good as actually just moving out of that space, which I was in love with. I was in love with that little room. It was such a cute little studio, and just moving into the most beautiful loft. Anyways, so this is an example. I hope you could see that it's not about just the physical self. Like, yeah, you hone in on your discipline, you're going to reach your goals. That's a byproduct of the journey. But girl, I hope you see right now, that's a byproduct. That's something that just happens out of the nature of this higher alignment. Once you align to your holistic health balance, which is your body, mind, spirit, it works in unison. Once you align to this, then yeah, your physical body shifts and transforms as a result of that. And it's amazing to have physical goals. It's very healthy to have physical goals, as I always say, as long as they're rooted in self-love and self-acceptance at all times. But man, it's like there's so much more available when you're living this high vibrational life. You attract what you are. So at the very foundation of how I believe that we were all intended to thrive, at the very foundation of that, it is taking care of your health and fitness. Because if you don't have that, then you are operating subpar and you're not even aware of how you could be feeling, how much better it can get. Right? So having that healthy desire, I think desire is one of the most healthy aspects of being alive. Why? Because we want more for ourselves. We came here to want more for ourselves. We came here to literally fight off the temptation to stray the path and practice becoming that strong person who can hold single pointed attention, to stay disciplined and put their goals, their greater goals, above all else. Now, I'm going to read some more notes I have about discipline because I'm obsessed with discipline because I see the value in it. It's actually just self-mastery. And we've come here to master thyself and to know thyself on these very deep levels in life, to really forge that spiritual connection of how everything is so interconnected and how it all works, how to start weaving our reality, which means how to start manifesting as creator gods. We are creator gods. So I'm fascinated with discipline because that's the gateway. If you don't have discipline, you don't have this in life. You don't have the will to create, to manifest as much as you could be. Again, human potential is much more than just our physical selves. I hope you see this now. And I'm going to share a few nuggets of information. If you wanted to make notes or have a few lines as affirmations that you could remind yourself of as you're tempted to stray. So, the most basic definition of self-discipline is your ability to control your urges in order to meet your long-term goals. Your ability to control your urges in order to meet your long-term goals. So, keeping the vision and recognizing that the urges that come up, not acting on them right away, but creating a little point of separation. This is just like trigger work, right? Like when we're doing shadow work and we are feeling how people or situations may trigger us. When you're asleep, you respond right away. You just react right away to the trigger. You respond, you react to the trigger. You don't even take a second to think. When you are gaining your consciousness and practicing your self-mastery, you create a little gap within that trigger. And blessed triggers, by the way, blessed triggers, because they are truly a roadmap back to the self. And so once something triggers you, create a little gap and you kind of say, what is this saying about me? What is this teaching me? What is in the mirror that this trigger is holding up for me? Right? So there's this little gap period for reflection. I call it the sacred pause. And it's very similar when it comes to honing in on our discipline, because the way we develop discipline is to get really good at saying no, get really good at having boundaries, and to get really good at saying no when the universe is throwing you everything into your path. So why be disciplined? Because, girl, I'm going to ask you something. What in your life is testing your greater potential? One thing that the great Brendan Burchard, I don't know if you're familiar with his work, but he's wonderful in business and just all around really cool self-mastery techniques that he teaches. Brendan Burchard said that, and I resonate with this so much, it's so true if you really think about it. The people who are closest to us in life, they love us so much that they're not always going to be holding us to the high standard. They're going to be the ones that are going to say, hey, it's okay that you didn't reach what you were after. hey, you're perfect as you are now, which is true. And they just love us. So they're saying it out of their heart. You know what I mean? But they often don't hold us. Unless you have a really badass circle, then all the power to you. That's amazing. But for the most part, our loved ones don't hold us to this potential. So if you're not disciplined, if you are not holding yourself to a high standard of discipline, what in your life is? Who in your life is? And so what's going on? Time is going on. Maybe just being stagnant, maybe being in the exact same place that you were the last year, the last few months, the last 5 years. And that's cool. But like we're saying, there is more available for you. Just up to you to focus your mind and call in the attention, call in the energy, and be fixed on the goal that you want. Treat discipline as a giant experiment to knowing thyself. Because just like triggers are specifically designed for you to learn about the depths of you, so is discipline. This is going to help you understand and know yourself better. This is going to help you understand your shadows, which will affect every area of your life. If you start doing shadow work, of course, that is like, you already know that's going to increase your vibration that much more. And it's simply just going to illuminate all of your areas for growth. So if I could break down discipline in the most simple form for you, it would be simply automating your behaviors. So what does that mean? Say the ice cream truck comes around and your instinct is to be like, oh my God, it's a hot summer day. I've been working out so hard. I deserve it. Or whatever the case is. Or maybe the ice cream man is rolling by and he's like, hey, free cones for everyone. That is pretty much the energetic contract of temptation staring you right in the face and giving you a choice point. This is how the universe is designed, to put temptations on your path and say, choose. One is going to lead you closer to where you want to be. The other is going to keep you exactly where you are. Or if you continue going down that path, retract further and further away from what you know you want for yourself. So let's just pretend you went down the route of yanking the ice cream from the ice cream man and being like, you know what? I've worked hard. I am just going to do this right now. I just want it. Life is life. I'm human. Let's just go for it. And so all of a sudden the ice cream is in your hands. In another instant, it is absolutely gone. Maybe it's all over your face and you're kind of sitting like, well, whatever. Not enough to make me gain any fat. One ice cream, absolutely not going to make an impact on my body. Just one, which is true. Absolutely true. That one ice cream is not going to make or break your progress or make you gain weight at all or make you store fat if it's just that one ice cream cone. Well, what it will do is weaken your willpower muscle. So the next time that ice cream truck comes by again, or maybe it's the next temptation staring you in the face, you're going to be more inclined to give in to that temptation. And that's just how discipline works. Because discipline takes effort at first. But once you get used to saying no, once you get used to having very strong boundaries, it gets a lot easier. And again, strong boundaries will help your entire life change. So in order to automate our behaviors in the example of the free ice cream from the ice cream man, the next time you feel this impulse or this temptation that is calling you towards something that is not in alignment with your goals for the time being, think about, in this specific case, okay, I want this ice cream. What do I want from it? I want to taste the sweetness. I simply just want it because it's a hot summer day. I want a little treat. I'm hungry. Start creating that sacred pause, that gap between you and the urge. Just start thinking about it a little bit. Use it to know yourself more. And so once you are exploring this urge before acting on it, now you're going to automate your behavior. Okay, I'm craving something sweet, so instead of having this ice cream, I'm going to opt for a smoothie. Fruit is sweet. It's going to fulfill me. In fact, it's going to fulfill me even more than the ice cream. It's going to curb my hunger. I'm going to be adding healthy nutrients into my body, add some protein in it, total alignment with my goals. And it's going to take away the craving. So start to think about different ways that you could automate your behaviors and get to know yourself, get to know your urges, get to know your temptations, because the more you can work with this from a place of total awareness, your life is going to change. I believe your life is going to change. And again, every time you automate a behavior that you wish to change, you are going to strengthen the muscle of your willpower more and more and more. And what takes a lot of effort at first, maybe, is going to be a lot easier for you in the long run. So, my girl, what is the ticket to practicing your self-discipline, health and fitness? Health and fitness, because you cannot speed up the process for it. It will be a challenge to stick with, but this challenge is going to change you. It is going to shape you from the inside out, and it is going to be the most worthwhile experience for you once you start to recognize how you're changing as a person, how you are evolving as a person, how you can now carry yourself with this strong sense of who you are and what is good for you and what is not good for you. Now that you can say no more easily in your life, your throat chakra opening, right? Like putting up those boundaries. This isn't just saying no about what's placed on your path in terms of health and fitness. This is also having stronger boundaries in relationships. This is just boundaries as a whole. So do you see how discipline is not just about keeping yourself on it at the gym, keeping your nutrition on it when it comes to your diet? This is a standard for living. This is a higher standard for living and your gateway into the most high vibrational realms of what it means to live your life, your unique life that only comes along once. So I hope this gave you a sense of the depth beyond the discipline that you once knew. And it's time to embody it, time to step up. And girl, like I said, just ask the universe how good it can get. Now let's go on a tour. I want to show you this place. If you are into it, stick around. Let's put this on a 0.5. How beautiful is this city? Look at that, look at that, look at that. I just love the Andes Mountains. They're so spiritually magical. Little bar in the background there. We're gonna go inside. Beautiful this place is. Look at the kitchen. I would have never expected to be here. Never expected to be here. I just wanted the construction guys to shut up, quite frankly. Artwork. Let's go upstairs. So anyways, my girl, it was so nice learning together and getting to share this wisdom with you in this video. Reach out to the community if you have any questions whatsoever. Reach out to me. And if you want to go deeper on this work, there's no limit to how deep we can go. So get out there, make it great. You have all the possibility in your fingertips.